Yeah. This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Let's go.
Hi, everybody.
G'day.
On the show today, comedian Nazeem Hussain. We talk about some pretty hard-hitting issues.
Yeah, we did actually.
I learn about ovals.
What blows us all away? We have a great discussion.
It's unbelievable to me. God, football. Can be interesting.
Yep.
Our Wildcat Mitch Norton dropped by. He was a bit sad because, of course, the Wildcats have missed the finals for the first time in 36 years.
Yeah, Nathan gets very competitive with curry sausages with his dad.
Well, why wouldn't I?
No.
Is it too salty? I mean, get a grip.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean.
We got the opportunity to catch up with Nazeem Hussain, great comedian.
Oh, so
He's headed our way. He's bringing his Hussain Is That show to the Regal
funny.
Theatre. But when we called through to speak to him yesterday,
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, can you call me back in 5 minutes?"
And we were like, are you kidding me? We've finished for the day and we want to get out of here and you've enraged us.
So then, after a few minutes, doing whatever he was doing,
No, I
Yeah.
don't know.
he
Snap
called us
on my mouth.
back. And here's what happened.
Hello.
What were you doing, Nazeem?
We're having a guess.
Yeah.
Were you doing a poo?
It was the weekly.
Wipes quick is the-
No, I just needed, you would have picked up on the acoustics, so I thought this is too obvious. No,
I thought you might be one of those fancy comedians that has a carpeted toilet.
God, a carpeted toilet, gross.
I know.
That is
Always think
gross.
about Mr. Bowl.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I know,
well-
but it keeps your
Improve
feet
your
warm.
aim.
Keeps your feet warm when you're sitting there.
Oh yeah, you know what? I might invest in something like that.
People
But
used
I
to
really
have
make it.
toilet seat covers
Yeah.
on the thing.
Remember
Keep your bum
that?
warm.
It was like, that was disgusting.
That is disgusting.
Yeah, that is gross. If anything, I'm going to get heated seats and those bidets that have the little satellite thing that aims for your butthole. And it's
Is
anyway.
it a satellite to do that?
But
Like-
not just that. Can I just say something?
Like a radar thing.
If you
No,
were
literally.
doing a number
Pick it
2
out.
and you need to be
Yeah.
hosed down afterwards, you haven't been taught how to do it right.
Listen, I don't know if you guys use water, but if you're just using paper, I'm sorry to say that's just not good enough.
I'm
Yeah.
so-
I mean, would you eat off a plate that you've just papered down? Not that you're going to eat.
No, but I wouldn't eat off my bumhole either.
No, I see what you're making. I see what you're doing, but the thought of the jet thought of the host gone. Yeah,
At least rinse it under
I've
the
never
sink.
had you had a go at that, Nat.
At the bidet?
Yes.
Yeah, in Japan, because they love their fancy toilets in
Yes.
Japan.
So did you feel super clean
No,
after that?
I didn't get the
No.
attraction.
The rush.
No, it felt like you were being
um,
attacked by a super soaker in a very
Yeah.
unfortunate game of wars.
It is a very, like the entire continent of Asia are up for it,
Yeah.
though, aren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah, pretty much. You know what? I think it's literally just European people that don't use water. And the rest of the world are clean. So, get with it. Man.
Okay. Maybe I have to look into
Wash the
it.
rest of your body, just not the part that excretes.
No, we do wash it, like in the shower, we wash it, like when we wash the rest of our body.
That's very good.
This is like
Okay.
a
Turned
debate
into some sort of race war really quickly, didn't it?
Do you think you can use any of this new material in the show's
I'm
coming
not
up?
even joking. This is, and these jokes are probably like there is a segment in the show where this is referenced, and half the audience don't know what's going on, and the other half are like they lose their minds. But no, creating a race war is basically what I do in my show.
Well, that's nice, because it's not happening enough these days.
No, that's right.
No, exactly. Not for money anyway. Nothing that profits me.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, Nazeem, on your Insta, right, I'm going to take you back to the 31st of March.
My birthday. Thanks for
Yes,
celebrating
Natalie,
it.
posted is a wonderful promotional photograph of Nazeem, and we've had so many promotional photographs, and also community newspapers and the West Australian and stuff take photos of us when we're out and about. And you are posing on the tram tracks of
Yes.
Melbourne.
Oh, okay, that
Just
one.
reclining. You're
Yeah.
reclining.
And I just want to talk to you about promotional photos because Natalie and I remember the one
Yeah,
we did
we've
on
had
the
some
boat.
bad
Nat?
ones,
Remember the one on the
yes.
boat? So one was on the boat.
What
right
did you do? You were on a boat?
Yeah, we're on a boat, and this photographer said, Nathan and Nat, we'd like to get you on the front of the boat. So we went on the front, and then Natalie, you lie down. Nathan, you get in behind her like you're spooning her, and then
Oh my
Nathan,
God.
can you put one of your legs over Natalie's legs?
And drape your arm
Whoa.
like
Drape
this.
your arm
Like
over
it was-
top of her, like we'd just done it.
I think we were making porn. I'm not sure.
I think I was.
This went into the
Consent from your
community.
partners?
This went went into thinking we don't have partners ever. This went into...
This episode's like the only billboard that needs like a parental guidance rating.
Yes.
It went into the community newspaper, Nazeem, and it was one of the most shocking things. So talk to me about some of the photos that you've taken and the tram one. Talk to me.
There you go. First of all, nothing as pornographic as what you guys have just described. That is full on. I mean, I try to appeal to families and normal people. No, that photo of me on the tram straps is me trying to be as sexy as I could be. And to be honest, it came out moderately. You know, I don't think I pulled it off. You know, it's for Men's Health, and they were like, "Listen, all right, try and look smoky down the lens." And I was like, "I can't." And then I can't remember. He got me to think about something. He got me to solve a math equation in my head. And that was the look. That's what you saw there.
So I think you
solving algebra.
I think you look good. It's just that there someone just down the thing ready to yell tram? Tram.
There were people there just going, "Get off the tracks, mate! Get on!" Like, it's the end of the line. There's no tram.
Like when you're playing cricket on the road.
Yes.
It was in St Kilda. You know, like it's where there are actual influencers posing on people. So I think people were like, "Here's another influencer." I took that as a compliment because influencers are hot.
You know what? The worst thing you can do to attract influencers is to spray paint a set of wings on a brick wall.
And watch them fly.
There is a 3-kilometre line of them.
It's all it takes.
Waiting to get a photo.
No, that is a great business idea. I might just do that on my bed. Charge.
Hey, Nazeem, obviously with all the comedy shows going all around Australia at the moment, do you have someone that you love to see? Because, you know, if you check everybody's Instagram, everyone's like catching up, you know. Obviously, I see Rove stuff and he's like catching up with people he hasn't seen for a while. But do you have like a man crush on or a woman crush on any of the comedians out there?
I mean, you know, I love Ursula Carlson. I don't know if she's coming first. Becky Lucas is hilarious. I think Damien Powell's coming. Pretty much, I go through the guide and I want to see all the shows, but then I realise I'm only in town for like 2 days. So I basically spend most of my time at comedy shows. But yeah, Becky Lucas, she's hilarious. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen her stuff, but she's probably the funniest person in Australia at the moment, which pains me to say that.
Well, you know, you were both on Last Comic Standing. Is that what that thing was called? What was that thing?
Yeah,
Last One Laughing.
Yeah, she was hilarious. You basically had to make other comedians laugh. You yourself had to not laugh. So it broke most of our brains, except for some reason Becky thrived and was absolutely hilarious. And yeah, look, I would encourage anybody that's bought tickets to my show, if our show times clash, get a refund on my show. Go and see Becky because it's a way better show.
Yeah. I mean, you're doing really well because apparently you got a bidet. So
I'll create race rights in her show.
Yeah, she needs the money. Her bum's filthy.
She's got to get some bidet money.
Oh yeah,
but the comedy. What is it? The Comedy Lounge in Perth.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm doing a couple of shows there after my show, I think, as well. But it's basically like apparently when the lockdown happened and Perth comics. Like they got more stage time because all these Melbourne comedians were just flying in. Now Perth comedians apparently have become a force to be reckoned with, and they're really good now.
Yeah. But you know what? We didn't like it. They got a bit too confident. They were strutting around the streets with whoopee cushions and rubber chickens.
That's half my act.
And the other half is about dirty bums. So you know.
And that's gonna fill 90 minutes, apparently.
Book smarter these holidays.
With whatif.com, you can book everything for your trip all in one place.
Plus, select hotels are fully refundable. Booking cancellation windows apply.
Make up for missed holidays with What If? It's Aussie for travel. Check government advisories before booking and travelling.
My father got very upset with my mother the other day. And
this rarely happens.
Yeah.
Remember that time?
You're going to have to narrow it down for us.
Time you said that thing.
Yeah, I remember.
So Mum was telling me that Dad had cooked these sausages, and the sausages were quite nice, and he had made curried sausages.
Okay.
And
is that one of his signature dishes?
Yes, it is. And Dad went off his brain because he didn't want me to know about the curried sausages, and he said, he goes, I'm never trusting you again. You swear. Your swearing mouth.
You beep, 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 beep.
Swear.
So why was he so forceful to Marlene?
He accidentally made them too salty.
Right.
And he didn't want me to taste them.
To experience the inferior curried sausages.
So I was then go get me some, and he refused, and he put them in the back fridge where no one's allowed to. You're not allowed in the back fridge. That's Dad's domain. You can't even, if I want a drink from the back fridge, I'm not allowed to get it. He has to go out and get it for me.
What is in that fridge?
I don't know.
Whose head is in there?
It's so funny.
So I was in the back fridge, and he did not permit me to go there, nor was he going to get me some. Anyway, and the reason why is because for a while now, Dad and I have become a little bit competitive about cooking because Dad is sticking to his old school recipes. So his curried sausages, right? It's the old school curry sausage, you know? It looks like it's that gross green colour.
And is it the like Keen's curry powder?
Yeah,
is that
Keen's
the one
curry powder.
Yeah.
And he's got the and it's got the beans in it. It's got the big chunks of potato in it. And he doesn't even he uses the wrong stock. If he uses stock, he uses water. Anyway, and look, it's been fine for years,
as it turns out.
but we're now in a foodie world.
That's right. We've got options.
So recently, I showed Dad that curried sausages can be more than that. And I pulled up a Adam Lior.
Yes, used to be on MasterChef.
Recipe, yes, and I got his curried sausages, and they've got things like passata in it.
Yes.
Yes.
So a tomato-based curry.
Yeah. And then, also, I added some mango chutney instead of sugar to give it a different sweetness.
Look at you go.
See?
And, and it's just like a different way of doing it. And then this one had, called for a bit of cream, and there's, coriander in it.
Whatever next.
Oh, Natalie, you know what I mean? It's just like a slight change anyway. So I made these curried sausages.
You know why? It's not the 1970s anymore.
It's not the 1970s. So and then I put heaps of actual fresh tomatoes in there and packed it full of really nice vegetables. And I have to say they were amazing. And Dad did not want to compliment me on them. And I knew.
You didn't want to
we all knew. Everyone knew. Everybody in Karen
sausages were better.
That they were amazing.
He was desperate for a second bowl, but he wouldn't.
But because now that we've got this competition going where Dad cooks something and then I show him how it could be. And it fills him with
it's getting
such
bitter,
rage.
isn't it?
And I really enjoy it. I think there's nothing better than a competition with
some
a
healthy rivalry.
Going up against someone, Sean.
Ours in my household, there's a lot, but one that sticks out to mine is doing the shopping on a weekly basis. And I'm
between you and Megan.
Yeah, me and Megan. So Megan will do online shopping, right? And she will grab stuff, and she reckons she's written a list, and she sticks to the list, and she's got everything covered, everything mapped out. Dinner on Tuesday is going to be this, that.
Yes.
And she accordingly orders.
So she plans ahead and then orders what she needs to make.
And then
plan.
I say she does a rubbish job.
Because
why is that? She doesn't get the right things?
I think that she doesn't stick to that plan.
Yes.
And then, so I like to then go and do the shopping and do it broadly and then go hard on it.
So she's an online shopper, you're a tactile shopper, and you feel like that's...
And I need, more importantly for me, I'm big on when you go to the shops rather than getting stuff online because, you feel the tomatoes. You get the fruit and veg. You're not getting, no one else is just grabbing it off the thing.
I feel like the people that pick it for you just don't care. They just chuck in the bags off for them.
Yeah, so it's competition every week. So sometimes on a Sunday, if I've got time, I'll do the shopping, and then we start having an argument over. No, I've got to cut. Because I'm trying to beat her to it, she's trying to beat me to doing the shopping and doing it well.
Do you buy a whole lot of stuff and then figure out what you're going to make from it? Is that what you're saying you do? So she plans the meals and says on Tuesday we're having tacos, Wednesday we're having spag bowl, and buys exactly what you need for that. Or do you? But do you approach it from
a mystery box challenge?
I'll buy a whole lot of chicken. I'll buy a whole lot of veggies, and we'll figure out what to make from it.
Yeah, for the most part,
right,
absolutely. Okay. I reckon I've got it all.
Well, that
covered.
lacks planning.
No, mate, I'm sharp as a whip when it comes to this stuff, mate. I'm onto it. By the time we leave here at work, I'll know what's going on tonight.
The best thing about these weird little competitive...
The
best thing about these weird little competitive things that we have, like you with Megan and with Dad, is it fills the other person... Oh, not me. It fills the other person with such rage. Does Megan get so angry?
She gets so angry. And then vice versa. I get angry at her if she's not doing it my way. It's really weird.
I never get angry. I just think it's great to press his buttons.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Nathan is embroiled in a competitive curried sausages competition with his father.
Not a competition.
Well,
I'm winning.
but it would be with all kinds of foods, Nate, because your dad likes to, he does the pasta and
Dad,
stuff
Dad
like
does
that.
his thing, and then I tell him what it could be. But the funniest thing was with Dad's salty curried sausages, which he tried to hide from me. He goes, "Do you want to take some home?" And I said, "Because they're not that bad, Dad," and they were. And I got a container, and then I said to Mum, "I'm going to take these in to Nat and Sean and make them taste it on air." And then Dad went off his brain when he heard, "They're not leaving the house."
That's because he knows how bad they are. Tim's in Como. Morning, Tim.
Hey, how you going, guys?
Good, Tim. What are you weirdly competitive about?
Crib.
What?
Your crib.
Yeah, crib. So like an old person's card game. But I've recently started playing it with my partner, and it's ridiculous. I even have to cut the cards to start the game, and I'm getting pipped. Like, she'll pull out an ace every time I pull out a 3, even to have crib to start the game. And she's pipping me at the post by 1 peg on the board. And for 6 games when we first started playing, I was getting nailed at the post. It was
cards every time.
Yeah. I've never played crib.
No, but the boys used to play it on the plane. I never got it. Luke Toy loved it.
Yes.
Tim, can you describe how you start crib for us?
Right. So you have a deck of cards, and you have to cut the cards to see who's going to get crib. You then deal out.
What is crib?
Crib is a card game played with a board that has pegs in it.
No, so when you said you cut the cards to see who's going to get crib, what is crib?
Crib is another hand that you get in the card game. So you get dealt 1 hand each, and then the person who has crib gets a second hand to score points with.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And is this an elderly people's game, is it, Tim?
It's been around since, I believe Jesus was playing it with Moses at one stage. It's very interesting.
How old are you?
I'm under 50.
Tim, do you and the wife not get out much? What's going on?
Well, COVID didn't help,
No, that's true. I mean, we'll grant you that.
I think there's something really sweet and just a couple playing cards together.
Except they're really competitive and it's going to end in tears.
Mate, I know. They're like so do you get really angry, Tim? Really angry?
No.
Have you ever flipped the board?
Frustrated laugh that might come out.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Because she's better than you. Yeah.
Puts a little bit of poison in the tea every day, but it's fine.
Thanks, Tim. Danielle's in Naranda. Hi, Danielle.
It's a Russian move.
Yeah. Hi, good morning.
Hi, Danielle.
Okay, what are you competitive about?
Okay, so it's not me, it's my partner. So we've started a little group chat on Wordle.
Yes.
And it started to get a little bit of out of hand. So my partner had score checks, seeing wherever it is, how many, times they've got the word.
Yes.
This has been going on for quite a bit. And it's quite interesting. Initially, he was saying, it's all about his IQ and, you win purely based on your ability to know where the letters are.
Yes, your deductive abilities, yes.
Yeah, and then as soon as anyone else beats him, he's like, no, it's jammy.
That's luck. It's
just purely luck.
Yeah.
So if he wins, it's by sheer skill, but anyone else is by pure chance.
And then he gets angry as well. So he, behind the scenes, he's angry at himself and disappointed at himself.
God, I should have saw that coming.
Yes. Should have known it would be a CK, not a CH at the end.
I do that after a Saturday's betting.
Yeah. Okay,
Thanks,
that's great.
Dan.
Let's go to Greg in Baldivis. Hi, Greg.
How's it going, guys?
Yeah,
Hey, good, Greg.
All right, what are we competitive about, Greg?
Not so much me. So I run a landscaping crew, and we've got 4 boys who all are the same age and all went to school together.
Yeah.
They also all play footy together, so they're already very competitive. On a daily basis, we run competitions to see who can do the most work.
Oh, that's good for productivity.
Boss, this is genius.
Hey, we've never done that one here.
Oh, it's great. I do little things like pick up a shovel and move the shovel on one of them, and at the end of the day, I'll be like, "Oh, you did a really good job cutting that brick," or I'll compliment one of them, and it plays on the other boys, so then they all try harder every day.
You've hit the jackpot.
You're working this to your advantage.
Yeah, Nat cuts a good brick.
So, Greg, do these guys? Do you just work with them, or do they work for you?
So I'm their supervisor.
Yeah.
I was going to say you wouldn't want to be the other guy that's not in the competition but on the same level as them, because I'll be guessing you're getting fired.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
I think it was very odd for everybody around the NBL to see the final start last night, which was Melbourne versus the Tassie Jack Jumpers, and not see the Perth Wildcats there. You know what? On the East Coast, they'll be like, yes.
Oh, yeah, they're wrapped about it.
Homicide William.
Now if they just get a chance to burn down Optus Stadium, they'll be happy. They're like, WA.
Mitch Norton, our handsome Wildcat, joins us. Mitch, good morning.
Good morning, guys. It's lovely
Mitch.
to be in studio.
I feel like we just need to give you a hug.
And now we can.
You can.
Yes.
Yep,
You've been kept very far away from us during this season because of the COVID stuff.
Was it last year as well? Was it? How long has it
been?
been?
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
I feel like I may have only had one show.
Yes.
Here.
Yeah.
It's been a very long time.
But it is disappointing to see you, though.
Yeah, it is. It feels very
in the
strange.
nicest possible way.
Someone called me last night and was like, "Hey, will you be like tuning in and watching the finals?"
Oh.
I was like, I don't think I can.
No.
Don't think I can.
Won't miss an episode of Maths, but
exactly right. Priorities are right there.
I guess from the outsider point of view, Mitch, what went wrong in the last bit? Because
they didn't win.
When you came back to town, everyone's going, "Oh, this is a top 2 lock-in."
Yeah, well,
Absolute
9 home
top 2.
games in a row. We thought, it's done and dusted.
You won 2 games in that stretch.
Yeah, there was a lot of learning going on.
Yes.
As I would say.
Instead of winning, yeah.
I think for us, being on the road, you can really lock into one thing. So coming home, I think some people thought it would just happen.
Yeah.
Playing in front of the Red Army and, it was only 50%. So like capacity and stuff like that. So we didn't really have that 6th man from the crowd.
The full energy of them.
Which is, it's unfortunate. Feel for the club, feel for the fans. We got 12,000 members, so not even all our members could get in there and fill that arena. So, just not enough wins on the board. There's a couple of games that definitely come back to haunt you. And, I think we've learned a lot of lessons this year.
So we've said it every year that the pressure of that title, the reigning wins of the Wildcats,
the streak,
would be really huge every year to live up to. What is that like? Because especially for you guys this year, I mean, finally, it's come to an end. Will it give you less pressure now going into the next season, or more because now it's sort of been off the table, or more pressure to get it back, or would that be hunger? What is it?
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be a chip on our shoulder.
Yeah.
The thing is, I kind of don't want the guys that are coming back to have that chip on their shoulder from now. Yeah. Otherwise, we'll wear off. So
feel less pressure but more hunger.
I think so. Yeah. And I think it's something to be celebrated. Like I'm glad that I was a part of 3 years where I was able to so-called carry the torch.
Yeah. And then you dropped
be
it.
A part of that. And then I dropped it.
Did you guys talk about it? Is it something that you talked about a lot, or is it just kind of a background pressure that the media throw onto you?
I don't know how to say it. But as bad as it sounds, we were focused on our goal, and that was to win a championship.
Yeah.
So ticking the boxes along the way, we would have continued that, and that's what we were focused on.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the outside noise was the streak, and it is cool to be
but that
part
wasn't
of,
your
but
driving force.
That wasn't our driving force.
No.
But it would have had some real estate in your brain, though.
I think that last game, it was probably there a little bit.
Yeah, the Friday night game and the last game, clearly you played, and you hadn't been playing well, but as if we're not going to make the finals, so you're still in such a strong position until the last 2 games when it came reality that if you lose them, then you're out. And guys were missing wide open shots left, right and centre, particularly from beyond the arc. And even the best players were it just wasn't working. So the mental pressure must have been there in that scenario.
I think so. I think probably, our intensity and how hard we were playing, probably the game prior to those last 2 or that last weekend probably wasn't to the standard which we needed.
Yeah, fair call.
And I think our intensity picked up in those last 2 games for obvious reasons. But I think if we had that intensity earlier, we probably would have taken that weekend out of our hands and we would have locked up a spot.
So if you could pin losing the winning streak on one person, who is it?
No one. There's no one.
Say what you're saying during the song.
Me. I'll take it.
So, the obvious, there's a lot of focus on the fact that new coach, how's he going? I mean, it's bad enough. His name's Scott Morrison, so already he's behind the eight ball.
Yeah. Are you thinking about Anthony Albanese for the next?
He was late to get here because he couldn't get a visa. Yeah. There were so many obstacles in his way. His family couldn't arrive for quite some time. Yeah. He's had a rough season, and now this has happened.
No, he sure has.
How's he doing?
He's doing okay now. Obviously, there's no one.
He's going to fly to Hawaii.
In Perth that would have wanted to win more.
He doesn't hold the hose, mate. It wasn't his fault.
So there's no one in Perth that would have wanted to win more than him.
Yeah.
He's a very big learner. He kind of studied the history and loves that side of the game. So to come in to a club like this and be the coach that doesn't quite achieve our goals as a club. He's upset more than anyone, and I think the thing about him is he's a very fiery person. So it's only going to drive him on to bigger and better things, and can't wait for next year.
All right, well, let's turn this frown upside down. You've got time off now. Wow, this must be amazing. What are we doing?
I don't have a hell of a lot planned. I wasn't planning on having so much time off.
So you hadn't made travel plans for this period because normally you're playing finals.
Yeah, not this period, but I have booked, or very close to booking, a trip to Italy.
Oh, Mickey and Nathan come and stay.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I think Nat and I are just going to...
Yep, we're running off to Italy together.
Yeah, so no, it's exciting. We almost hit book on flights to Italy a couple of years ago, and they were like, there's about 100 cases in Italy, and then the next day
you caused the pandemic in Italy.
Yeah,
right.
pretty much, yeah. So, it's something that we've wanted to do for a very long time, and hopefully we get to do it.
It's going to be interesting this time off. When does the next NBL season start? And therefore, I can imagine start 6 to 8 weeks before that?
Yeah. So I think we're going to go back to our regular schedule. So far, that's what I'm hearing. So starting kind of early October.
Yep.
So back in August to get everything rolling.
Yeah, well, everyone, you heard it right there from the man who ruined it all. Mitch Norton.
I love coming into radio.
We're so proud of you.
What we've done is not rub it in your face.
We haven't,
because we know
it's
a
difficult
time. I mean, we joked about it happening, saying you don't want to be on that team, and then when it happened, we're like, oh no.
Yeah. You're all
we still love you.
Yeah, beautiful.
Thanks, Mitch.
You're listening to Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Well, looking forward to chatting with our docker, Griff Logue, but he's over at Geelong at the moment. We're unable to get hold of him.
Apparently, the phones don't work in Geelong.
That's weird, isn't it? That's not in the news or anything.
No, I didn't see that. Last time I was in Geelong, phones were working.
No, well, things have changed.
The first thing that I was surprised about when I went down to Geelong, I'd never seen a Thirsty Camel before because all bottle shops were just bottle shops back in the day. And then I saw this place that had the Thirsty. I'm like, what's going on? There's a camel on the side of a pub.
They've got dehydrated camel problems over here. This is insane.
Yeah.
When I was the only time I've been in Geelong, I was straight after Big Brother and I was touring with the Pepsi Max Extreme team.
Extreme team.
What were you doing, BMX?
I was the MC. So we were parked up by the river, and then they had like that, and there was just like big like trucks everywhere, and then they had like giant half pipes. So it'd be like a one of Australia's best skateboarders would be doing a trick, and then a motorbike rider would be jumping over top of him, all that sort of thing. They wanted me to be the MC of that. I don't even know what I was saying.
Extreme sports and Nathan?
Hand in hand.
Anyway, so it was my Geelong experience. I was confused.
Well, hopefully Fremantle's experience tomorrow will be a good one. They haven't performed particularly well in the last couple of seasons, but that's because they haven't been that great. But previous to that, when they were quite a strong outfit, which is kind of in comparison to what they are now, they played really well down at Geelong.
Yeah.
It's a skinnier ground. It's quite a long ground. It's very narrow.
Yes.
And, you have to kind of move the ball through the middle of the ground as much as you can to be able to score
sorry,
quickly.
am I stupid? Are they allowed to have different shapes?
Yes. Different shapes, different dimensions.
But soccer fields are the same, though, so I didn't know that either. So I thought soccer fields were all standard.
Why wouldn't it be standard?
Either.
So you can make it as skinny as you want, like a corridor?
Yeah.
As long as there's the same surface area in there? Or it doesn't even matter?
No.
So it can be a smaller oval, it can be a bigger oval.
So Subiaco was quite a long ground. Optus Stadium is shorter than Subiaco Oval, but it's wider.
Isn't Optus the same as the MCG?
So wait there, basketball courts, all the same.
Standard.
All the same.
Hockey?
All the same.
Football, no.
And soccer.
And soccer?
Yeah.
Well,
so,
that's stupid.
Well, some teams in their day, right, they want it hard and contested. So that's the MO of I don't know, whatever team it is, Fremantle Dockers are just going to be tied in and under, smash and crash. Yeah. And then let's say, for example, the Eagles, they want it bigger and they want to run and stun and play.
So do you like long and skinny or short and fat?
Long and skinny. I don't want to give too much away.
I know you haven't. We call him Mr. Squiggle.
The thing about that, though, is that like the ground lasts forever. Do you know what I mean? Like that. So the coach and the players will move on. The ground remains. So building a ground that's the dimensions that work for the team.
That team at the time.
Is it going to work for the team in 10 years' time?
Well, Melbourne's ground is really. Some of them are really small. The SCG. I mean, the SCG was a cricket ground. So when you're at the SCG, the 50-metre line isn't 50 metres. It's about 47.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, it is. It is.
I'm sorry. So you cannot throw your arms up in frustration at an umpire, but yet a ground can be anything. 50 metres can be 30 metres. I mean, this straws. I mean, come on.
I've really thrown, a light on this, haven't I, for you? For everybody, hopefully. That's the interesting one about the SCG. So if you don't win the centre clearances, you're in all sorts of strife because you just, half a kick and it's at full forward and you kick bloody goal.
Is the centre always in the centre or what? Do they have it off to the side? Like an olive pip?
I don't even want to go there. I am going to change the subject over to the NBA. Of course, the draft's coming up on, I believe it's the end of June, maybe the 29th. Luke Travers, who plays for the Wildcats, is heading over there. I'm going to, we'll speak to Nordo about that. But he's an interesting cat. He's from Rockingham, and we're really hopeful that things go well for him. He really wants to buy his parents a house.
He wants so his dad doesn't have to work anymore. Because he said he's a really hard-working man and he needs a break.
Let's hear from him.
Big goal of mine was to stop my dad from working, so if I can finally put that into action, it will be, dream come true. My dad's one of the hardest workers I know, and he's got me to this point as well as my mum, so to stop them from doing that side of stuff will be, pretty cool.
Bloody brilliant.
I wish him all the best.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What do you think? Do you think he's going to get picked up?
I think he's going to improve massively on his shooting now.
Yeah.
In the NBL this season, they just left him wide open from the three-point land. I know he nailed a couple every now and then, but the reality is his shooting's not that great.
But the other aspects of his game?
Yeah, he's versatile. He's very tall, as you know. He's about 6'6", and he can drive to the hoop, which we always say to Nordo, don't you? Take it to the hole, which he can do. So that might be one of those things where...
good rebounder.
And in footy sense, you go athletically, you tick all these boxes, then we're going to pick him up. He's not a first-round pick.
No.
The
thing working against him is he prefers to play on a triangular court.
Which is very specific,
You don't come across many.
Well, you're doing the AFL.
Wouldn't you? An oval doesn't need to be an oval.
Nathan, Nat and Sean in podcast form.
It's Friday morning and you know what that means. The weekly debrief of our show, as compiled by the one and only Harry Fitzgerald, who presses the buttons and therefore sees and hears everything we do.
Now, Harry, you usually get really disappointed when it's a short week because that means only spending 4 days with us instead of 5.
Yeah, it's rubbish. It's been rubbish this week. No, it's been great. It's actually easier to make because there's not so much content to choose from, you know?
Sure.
Okay.
That's right. It's a smorgasbord otherwise, isn't it?
Hey, there are lots of things I had to leave out of this one, and you're probably going to notice. Like I had to leave out the advice you guys got from a goth earlier in the week.
Well, you know what, though? The good news is you can download every day's episode from the Daily Podcast.
And hear it in full.
Yeah.
All right, let's do the highlights. Here we go.
Nathan, Nat and Sean's Weekly Debrief.
Back to school to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool.
That's right, Billy. School was back in session this week. Kids, behave yourselves, and parents, don't forget to listen carefully to Mr. McManus.
But I'll just say to all the parents out there, remember, it's a change of seasons.
If you're at a fancy private school,
we just put on our rags at public schools. Put on your winter rags at the public schools.
I mean, good luck finding matching socks.
Got to dig out the winter top hat. Oh, no.
The Premier delivered some huge news this week around the easing of COVID restrictions and scrapping of masks.
The Premier, Mark McGowan, joins us.
Good morning, everyone.
Although Nathan, Nat and Sean think it might be best if he keeps his on for just a little longer.
No, you still sound symptomatic.
Oh, God.
You do?
I don't think so.
Or you sound symptomatic or you sound depressed. What is it? Which is it?
Well, it's probably the latter.
Mark, take a day off, mate. It can't be easy running the state, but far easier than working at Buckingham Palace. Nannying for second in line to the throne, Prince William.
By the time he was 4, he had the unattractive habit of yapping at his nanny. No one tells me what to do. When I am king, I will have you punished.
What a precocious little...
He just has to wait and hope to God he doesn't turn out to be King Joffrey.
Yeah.
Sadly, the boss's kids affect a lot of us, especially Beck, who couldn't afford to buy Christmas presents last year after this happened.
The boss's kids tipped out this big jar of coins. They were just sort of counting them out and putting them into little piles. I was like, oh, hey guys, what are you doing? And they looked up at me and just deadpan went, oh, we're just counting out your bonuses.
This week, Nathan, Nat and Sean gave away $1,000 every day. All you had to do was guess which song was being sung by their colleagues, who all make Rebecca Black sound like Celine Dion.
It's Friday, Friday.
And the week kicked off with the big boss, David McClung.
If you really know me, you've got to say so.
Beautiful.
You want to get to know it, you've got to say so. If you really know it, you've got to say so.
Pitch perfect.
To be focused, you've got to say so.
Whoa, someone get this guy a contract. And even our creative writer Magnus got involved.
There's a hundred faces on you in the dark.
Marvellous.
You should know you're beautiful just the way you are.
Yes, and here comes the high note.
Oh, is this too good?
No, I can most certainly guarantee, Magnus, that is not too good. So that was another great week of Nathan, Nat and Sean. And yeah, you might be thinking, whoa, geez, they have heaps of fun, don't they? And that's where you're wrong, because Nathan, Nat and Sean know when it's time to stop mucking around and get serious. It's not always one big joke, guys. Sometimes you just need to have important discussions.
I will not buy any eggs unless they're 800 grams or over. But yeah,
what
but like,
chook is squeezing out a 900?
Well, the one that's walking like a cowboy.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.